What's good, Freedom Marchers? Maybe I meant to slide up in here. Good morning, Freedom Marchers. Good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're at in the world. This is Tyrus Bain. Welcome to the definition of anarchy. It is Wednesday, November 17th, 2021. And yeah, I wanted to talk about Leticia Wright. For those of you who aren't familiar with Leticia Wright, she plays Shuri in Black Panther. And right now, they are filming Black Panther, except they stopped the filming. First, they stopped filming because Shuri had gotten injured. But now, it's because she refuses to get the snap, all right? She refuses to get the snap, and she has expressed the fact, she has expressed some ideas about the snap long before filming started, and they lambasted her in the media and on Twitter for just questioning the efficacy and the necessity of the snap. You know what I'm saying? Because she's basically like, screw that, basically what most intelligent people who have critical thinking skills are saying. They're saying that, it's not necessary for everybody. It shouldn't be mandated. People are still getting sick. They're still transmitting all this good shit. And she just gets destroyed, in the media and in Twitter and all that other shit. God knows how many opportunities she has lost in Hollywood, due to her craft. She's an actress, God knows how many gigs she could have pulled off if she hadn't stood on her nuts like that. It's the same thing that happened basically to people like, Nicki Minaj, how they did her. They dogged her out because she didn't want to get the snap just to go to the Met Gala. Like she said, she wanted to do more research and make sure she was good to go. But what's funny to me is how they treat anti-snappers, right? Because supposedly she's anti-snapper. Just because you don't want the snap for yourself and because you're questioning the need for it or the efficacy does not mean you're anti-snap. That just means that you don't want no parts of it. You don't want no parts of it for yourself, and you're just trying to put the information out there. Whenever you try to put information out that goes against the narrative, then they treat you like some type of domestic terrorist, right? Oh, if you don't get snapped, you're gonna kill your friend, you're gonna kill your grandma, you're gonna kill your coworker. Like, it's like you're automatically sick if you don't go out and get the snap. But it doesn't make sense. It's not consistent. Or the government and mainstream media, they're not consistent in their stance of people getting snapped because you have illegal immigrants crossing the border every day. They're getting caught, right? They're getting caught and they're being released into the country, but they're not required to get the snap, right? But if you come over illegally through legal channels, through customs, you have to make sure you have to show proof of the snap. It's just utterly ridiculous. Like, There's no consistency. It's like everybody done lost their fucking mind. How is it that it's okay for the government to fly illegal immigrants all over the country who haven't been snapped, who haven't, probably haven't even been tested for Modelo 19? I think it was Ted Cruz went down to the border once, and at that point, almost 30% of the people at the immigrants had tested positive for Modelo 19. But you're going to sit up here and release all these people into the country with no snap. But they're trying to make it to where you can't go to work if you don't get snapped. They're really trying to push that shit. You know what I'm saying? The courts shut that down for the time being. But OSHA is trying to fight it. Like, why is OSHA trying so hard to fight it? First of all, OSHA is not a ruling body, right? It's a regulatory agency, right? You see, this is what they do. This is what they do. As part of the left-right paradigm dog and pony show, if they want something done that can't be done through the legislature, which should be done through the legislature according to the Constitution and according to how this shit's supposed to work, when they can't get this shit done that they want done through those channels, then they'll go through an agency, right? The Joe Biden or the president will send instructions to an agency to change a definition, to add a regulation that ultimately ends up affecting everybody in the country, like the bump stock bans, right? Or like trying to make pistol braces, trying to make that a short-barreled rifle because you have a pistol brace. Instead of going through the legislative process, they'll have the ATF write rules about it so that the ATF can enforce some arbitrary rule that came down from the president through an edict. That's what they'll do. Just like Joe Biden put these mandates not through the legislation, but instructed OSHA to add a rule or a regulation for Modelo 19, which in effect affects people like Leticia Wright, who can't even go to work on filming because of it. You know what I'm saying? Now, even though they shut down, the court shut down the mandate, these different companies and corporations, they're going ahead with the mandates. They're private corporations and they can do that, but they're only doing it because Joe Biden sparked this bullshit and made it okay, right? They made it okay. So now people like Leticia Wright and God knows who else working on that set, no one can go to work. You can't film Black Panther 2 without Leticia Wright. And so, God knows how many hundreds of crew members and cast members can't go to work and get paid. Now, and no one is supporting, no one's talking about Leticia Wright, no one's, you know what I mean? Even these so-called pro-choice people, right? That talk about my body, my choice in regards to the snap. They're not talking about this. She's flying under the radar, and she's a champion for all intents and purposes for individuals who don't want to be forced to take this medical procedure.
Continue on I-405 South.
And she's being lambasted, she's being fucked with. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. This world is going to a crazy place. It's going to a crazy place, and I'm telling you guys, shit is going to be going down, man. A lot of shit is going to be broken down. A lot of, the system is going to crumble at some point. This system cannot be sustained the way it's going right now. The Constitution is in tatters, right? Right now, our government is operating outside of the Constitution with everything that they're doing. You know what I'm saying? They got these Build Back Better bills and all this other shit. Let me tell y'all, they just passed a $1.2 trillion infrastructure bill, right? And yeah, we need infrastructure. The country needs, infrastructure repair. We need things upgraded and replaced. But they're taking $1.2 trillion that we don't have to do it. What should be happening is every community needs to be taking care of their own infrastructure. So if you live in a community and you want your community and you want the buildings and the infrastructure in your community to run smoothly, then it would only be wise to voluntarily put in to have that infrastructure maintained and rebuilt. You know what I'm saying? The way that things are going, all this broad brushing of authority, all this broad brushing of regulation is causing a lot of problems. The stay-at-home orders last year led to a lot of suicides in children, including my nephew. Because when you change the dynamic that children go through so suddenly and abruptly, and you add this element of fear, and the parents are living in fear, and they're passing that fear on to their children, you're going to affect your children in a negative way. You're passing this fear onto your children, and you're sending them into fight or flight, and they don't know what to do. Because you sitting up here, the parent, you don't have a level head. You're not thinking critically, and you're spraying hand sanitizer every 2 seconds. You're wiping shit down with Lysol every 3 seconds. You're not letting your kids live. You're not letting them go outside because you think that the virus is floating around in the air like fucking dust and pollen. You think the virus is floating around riding on pollen to get into people. Like the fear that you're instilling into these children, and the dynamics changing up, and whatever they were going through, in 2 miles, they can't talk to you about it because all you're worried about is a fucking an unseen virus that you think is going to kill you in 2 seconds. You're so caught up in your fear, you're so caught up in your own bullshit that you don't even see what's going on with your children. And that's why people like Leticia Wright are so important, because people like her can encourage bravery, encourage balls, like stand on your nuts or grab your ovaries and fucking act like you got some fucking sense. California, people are so fearful in California, they allowed this crap bag, this asshat, Governor Nuisance, to lock them down and to force these to do these mandates. They're so in fear that they're allowing this to happen, and now our case rates in California are twice as large as that in Florida. In Florida, they do the opposite of the mandates. They do the opposite of the lockdowns, the opposite of the face flags. I don't like them illegalizing mandates for private companies, because that goes against my keep right, my anarchistic philosophy. Like, No government should be telling a private business that they can't have a mandate to go to work or to shop at their business. That's not the government's responsibility. Just like it's not the government's responsibility to force a mandate onto a company that the company has to enforce onto their employees. And they have to spend extra money to make sure that there's somebody at the door to fucking check papers. But nonetheless, Florida's case rates are much lower than California's, much lower than Israel, much lower than Gibraltar, much lower than Singapore, where they have goddamn like 99% snapped. And we see this, and I'm sure Leticia sees it, and she's like, "Yo, this ain't making no fucking sense."
4/10 of a mile, right turn.
All these, like South Dakota, forget about South Dakota, who never locked down, who made it the choice of the individual to wear face flags, right? Individual choice, private business choice. South Dakota.
Next right.
They thought, South Dakota's gonna go in the crapper. They're gonna have they're gonna have 8 million deaths. Texas. They shouldn't be lifting that mandate. Governor Newsom's so bitch ass. Trying to clown Texas. That's a bad move for Texas. But Texas is like, the rates are low, super low in Texas. Damn near no cases in South Dakota. Sweden never locked down. I mean, they shut down the secondary school. That's it, right? Primary school still was cracking. Businesses stayed open. People were walking around, living like free individuals. And yeah, there was an alleged surge for about 2 weeks.
Slow traffic.
And then that was it. Some old people died, and then shit went back to the way it was. And people are seeing this. People see it, and yet they still act like fucking idiots and believe that these mandates are necessary. They look at you like a motherfucking, like you're a demon, like you're a terrorist for walking around. What's that dude named Gene Simmons, old bitch ass? Gene Simmons, old wrinkle bald motherfucking, sit your ass down and quit playing the guitar ass. You sit your ass down. We're your enemy? Fine. If that's how you want it, that's how you want to roll with it. Lean with it, rock with it then. Go ahead and get your snap. And I'm going to stay snap free over here and let my immune system do its thing. I'm going to strengthen my immune system with the necessary, supplements that I have to take. The zinc, you know what I'm saying? Now, I'm not giving medical advice. I'm telling you what I do to bolster my immune system. YouTube. The zinc, the motherfucking glutathione, the motherfucking, probiotics that actually make it into your gut. They're just, speaking of which, I'm gonna tell you guys about this probiotic. It's called Seed, and it's very you want probiotics that are actually going to make it into your gut, that are going to make it past the acid in your stomach. And this here probiotic is made to where it's actually going to get into your gut. I've been using it for like 2 weeks. It's pretty good shit. I can tell the difference. But anyway, yeah, sunlight, vitamin D, quercetin, CQ10 or whatever they call that shit, CoQ10. I take all that shit. Armra, cholesterol, from Armra. And Leticia Wright, she's a young lady. I don't even think she's 20 yet. She's young. She's healthy. She's in shape. She's athletic. Like, what? You want her to get snapped for what? Women in her demographic aren't greatly affected by the Modelo 19. And people see this. They don't question, why is Israel Why does Israel have such high case rates? Why does fucking Singapore and California and New York and all these places have such high case rates when they're doing all these mandates? They're making you wear face flags. They did most of the lockdowns. Like, they did lockdown from start to finish. Italy locked down like a big dog. I mean, they don't do it no more. Italy learned their lesson. But we're not thinking. People still look at me like I'm a fucking terrorist. Oh, you aren't snapped yet? Oh my God, what's wrong with you? Nothing. Exactly. There's nothing wrong with me. That's why I don't do it. That's why I'm snap free. That's why I'm snap free, because there's nothing wrong with me. My immune system is tits. I'm good. My resting heart rate is 46 most nights when I'm sleeping. I'm good to go. You know what I'm saying? Oh, melatonin. I get the melatonin in as well. Melatonin has been known to combat this so-called Modelo 19. Oh yeah. My resting heart rate is most nights is 46. I use this Aura ring, and I got my Garmin watch, but it tells me what my resting heart rate is. It's basically, it's most nights is a 46, and it's saying that I have. It's telling me my heart rate is high when it's at 55. So that's how my heart rate stays within the 40s, like unless I'm, high stress one night, and if I'm high stressed at night, my heart rate would be like 55 or something like that. It never goes above. My resting heart rate is rarely over 60. So, my and at night in Satan's service, like all the rest of them, liars, sacks of poop. Yeah. Read a couple comments real quick, and then I got to get out of here. Dude literally called himself a knight of Satan's service. That's literally the kiss stand. Yeah, I don't feel bad for being an enemy of someone who calls themselves a knight of Satan's service. Yeah. Yeah, fuck that guy. Gardening is definitely good for the immune system because you're grounding and you're getting in touch with the earth and nature. Unless you want to ensure that your soil is not contaminated with the bullshit they spray in the sky. But that's a whole nother story, and I haven't talked about that in quite a bit. You know what I'm saying? But we know it's there. I haven't forgotten about it. But I'm gonna get out of here. It's just a bunch of nonsense, man. Irish Center, very true. I think the real criminals are nasty politicians and super rich. Not all, but slot. Yeah, a lot, yeah. Marcy said, Nuisance has Bell's palsy. For now, he's looking like the Phantom of the Opera. I haven't seen him. Have you seen him? Working these idiots that run in the world and asses, they hate us. They know they cannot win. We will never stop telling the truth. That's what's up. Jimmy Nguyen, what's up? Habakai. Yeah, thanks, Habakai. It was a real tragedy, man. And you know what? My brother, who lost his son, had a newborn son 3 weeks after his oldest son committed suicide at age 14. And then now they're pregnant. They're pregnant again with another boy. So, God blesses you, the universe blesses you, God, universe, whatever you want to call it. The universe blesses you when you go through shit and you're a good person, man. Like, that's the thing. You can be as good as you want to be. You can be a good, you can be a saint and you're still going to go through tragedy. But, the universe is always going to look out for you. And that's just what it is, I lost my nephew. My brother lost his son. And now he has one son who's almost a year old. And now they're going to have another son in April, so It's just, blessings on blessings, man. He got met with tragedy and got blessed twice. So, and his wife is like 40, 40 something. But it is what it is. I couldn't imagine losing a kid like that, but it is what it is. Anyway, I got to get out of here. Like, share, subscribe, and let's keep marching forward toward freedom. Peace.